This is the Tigers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
It's happening. It's happening. The Tigers are officially in complete and utter downfall. The choke is real. I don't know any other way to start this episode. The Detroit Tigers not only lose, but they get embarrassed, blown out 10-1, and a had-to-have-it game. They've lost 4 in a row, 7 of 8, and this team is officially broken. Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers postcast. I am your host, Jake Riepma. Follow me on Twitter at Jake_Riepma. This is the Locked On Tigers postgame show, free and available wherever you get your podcasts, and of course on YouTube. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team each and every day. Go ahead and like today's video and subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more choking noises, because that's really the only appropriate way to associate this baseball team. It is threat level midnight, and this could just be the exact same episode as yesterday. A game you had to have. The bats didn't show up. The only difference in this one was the pitching was even worse. I mean, Charlie Morton, what in the world? Now, I'm listening to AJ Hinch's post-game press conference. Nobody wants it more than Charlie. Nobody feels worse than Charlie Morton. I hear you loud and clear. This is not personal. It's nothing against Charlie Morton. He was terrible tonight. The whole team was terrible. They put maybe 2 or 3 good swings out there, one of them being a Spencer Torkelson home run, and you lose 10-1, and the losing streak continues, the downfall, the choking, the disaster, the nightmare, anything else you can think of. So we're going to take your comments. We're going to have maybe a Friday night vent sesh, whatever it is. We are going to try to flush it because the Tigers come right back. Early game tomorrow for a Saturday, and we will be with you on the Locked On Tigers postcast for that. Everybody should be and actually I take that back. I'm not going to tell anyone how to feel. I've read some of the comments before I went live. There's so many coming in that I want everyone to be heard on the Locked On Tigers postcast, because that's what we've made this. It is a passionate landing spot for passionate Tigers fans after games, for better or for worse. And right now, it is as bad as it can be. It's as bad as it's been all season. Let's go ahead and get into it. It's our biggest talking point.
This is what you'll be talking about.
As a team, there's no life. There's no fight. There's no grittiness. I mean, this is what this team was built on last year. The gritty Tigers. It is a complete 180 from what we witnessed last year. We saw a team at the trade deadline with a less than 1% chance to make the playoffs go on a magical, unforgettable run. And at the core of that run was the gritty, never quit, don't give a you-know-what about the odds team of destiny that would do whatever it took. And this team just doesn't have it. This team is broken. I keep saying that. I don't know who's the guy to step up. And, you know, it's not picking on a team to go line by line through this box score and say, we need more, we need more, we need more. And again, I know nobody feels worse than Charlie Morton going out, throwing an inning and a third, giving up 6 earned runs in a game you had to have. But that's what happens. And you're trying to try out different pitchers. Paul Sewald gets in there late in the game, and I'm listening to the call with Dan Dickerson and Andy Dirks. You know, this is a guy essentially auditioning for a spot on the postseason roster, and he gets shelled. There's literally no positives to take away from a night like tonight, and really yesterday as well. And the Tigers have lost the first 4 games of the homestand, and it really is reasonable to think that this team might not make the playoffs at this point. Let's take some comments, because again, it's our show here on the Locked On Tigers postcast, and I think Demetrius McNeil is the right person to lead us off. The collapse is absolutely well documented and well deserved. Come back next game. In fact, the division lead will be gone by Monday. That's how people feel. And of course, now we have to do scoreboard watching, because that's the position this team is in. The Guardians are up 2-0 on the Twins at the time of this recording, so I can't say whether or not the lead will be down to 2.5 or not, but I guess technically it'd be 3 games right now because it was at 3.5 and the Tigers lost, and it will just depend on if the Guardians win or lose. But man, oh man. And Travis Wayne, he says, I tried to be positive, but the last 3 games have frustrated me beyond belief. He goes on to say, at this point, I might as well just bash my head into a wall for 2.5 hours. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like watching this team. And I got a really good text from a great buddy of mine. I've talked about him on this program before. He's the one, we had the Spencer Torkelson conversation all the time. He says he's going to hit 35 home runs and have a bounce back year. He's 5 away with a home run tonight. I believe that was his 30th home run for Spencer Torkelson. Let me just make sure. And indeed it was. So he's 5 away, but as the only offense. And he made a great point, and he said the hubris of Scott Harris and Chris Ilitch at the deadline killed this team. And nothing could be more spot on. The arrogance, thinking they know everything, smartest guy in the room. No, we can do more with less. Didn't happen. I said it at the deadline, got called a hater, got told to get over it, got told it doesn't actually make an impact. But we're seeing, and again, I said this on yesterday's program, I'll say it again, it's not a victory lap, it's just confirmation of what we all felt would be the case. M. Klotz is up next. Morton shouldn't be allowed to pitch for the Tigers ever again. Bob K, he says, like I said yesterday, who's the leader of this team? The players have to take responsibility and step up. Unfortunately, I don't see anyone stepping up. This is an epic collapse. It is. I mean, that might, if they lose tomorrow, that might be what I put on the thumbnail. Epic collapse. If this team gives up the division, that postseason press conference, I mean, we should have pitchforks ablazing coming at Scott Harris and Chris Ilitch, demanding accountability for the arrogance and the egotistical approach this front office took. Say, no, we don't need to get better at the trade deadline. We can bargain bin and clearance rack shop. I'm at a loss. I really am. They're going to have to answer for Cobb. $15 million for a guy not to pitch. That was the big investment for this Tigers team this year. A guy that's not going to pitch. Answer for Charlie Morton. Answer why you didn't go get Bregman. I know you made him a competitive offer and he didn't want to come here. You make him an offer he can't refuse. We didn't need him. And it does have the feel of 2009. I saw a comment there. 2006 as well. Remember, the 2006 team was a wild card team. They lost the division on the final day. I remember being so sad about that. Troy just keeps it simple. I like it. Bro, we stink. Anthony Robinson, what a joke of a collapse. And this one's interesting from Aonis Glow. This team is so soft. Only reason they make the playoffs, and that's if they do, is because Seattle and Houston are playing each other. That's true. That helps. That, in fact, helps. All right, let's keep it rolling. It's a live Locked On Tigers postcast, and the last couple of days have been shows where, yeah, I mean, if we want to get into the nitty gritty, the numbers are ugly. Charlie Morton, an inning and third, 5 hits, 6 earned runs. I mean, Montero's fine. Paddock gives up 2 earned runs, and I already mentioned Sewald. And on the other side, how about Bryce Elder just casually shutting the Tigers down for 7 innings, 1 earned run, just moving right along. Just the same with the Guardians. They looked like the hungrier team, and easy to point out one game with the Braves and say they look like the harder, but they're playing loose. They got nothing to play for. They're relaxed, cruising right along, and it's the Tigers that are just epically collapsing. And I really did, listen, if they don't make the playoffs, this is not a hot take. I'm not a hot take guy. I think the industry of its in and of itself has gone to that, and it's annoying. But and I hate calling for a job because that's the easy go-to, that's low-hanging fruit. But Scott Harris, if this team does not make the postseason, and Chris Ilitch owe the fans an explanation of what they could have done better. And everybody's different. I've said this time and time again. It would just go a long way if they didn't act like the smartest guy in the room all the time. I'm losing my microphone, and I gotta laugh or cry because that's where we're at. And again, I was critical of the approach this front office took in the offseason. I was critical of the approach this front office took at the trade deadline because the window is now. And all I hear about is the longevity of the organization and sustained success. Sustained success. Sustained. They said that word 100 times. And yeah, the West Michigan Whitecaps are the best minor league team in the history of the world. Good for my friends in West Michigan. Seriously. Grand Rapids, awesome. The Seawolves, the entire minor league system team, great. But man, these fans, we all deserve more than what this front office and this team gave us in the month of September. Still 2 more games for this home series. And then what do we got? 8 games left? 8 games left. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll have our turning point and player of the game next on live Locked On Tigers postcast. This episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is brought to you by Zippix. That's right. Whether you're looking for nicotine satisfaction or an energy boost, Zippix has you covered with their nicotine and caffeine-infused toothpicks. For nicotine users, Zippix provides a discreet way to satisfy cravings, the hand-to-mouth habit without vaping or smoking. Zippix can be a helpful tool as you work to reduce your dependence on vaping. It's available in 6 great flavors with 2 milligram and 3 milligram nicotine options. And if you need an energy without the crash, the caffeine toothpicks are a game changer. That's what I like, the caffeine toothpicks. And as I mentioned, it's discreet and it just gives you that nice little extra boost. That's why I use it. So go to zippixtoothpicks.com. Use code LOCKEDON for 10% off your first order. Must be 21 or older to order. Warning, nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's zippixtoothpicks.com. Promo code LOCKEDON. Zippix. Zip more, smoke less with Zippix toothpicks. Today's episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is also brought to you by our good friends over at Prize Picks. It's the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports, and it's Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. And you and I, we make decisions every single day, but on Prize Picks, being right means cashing in. Football's back, so get in on the action. Just pick more or less 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes all in less than 60 seconds. And you know what? Football's more exciting to talk about than this Detroit Tigers baseball team anyway. So pick more or less on a couple of Lions picks for this weekend. Technically Monday Night Football against the Ravens. Looking forward to that one. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. This episode is also brought to you by our good friends over at 5 Hour Energy. Caffeine just got a flavor upgrade. 5 Hour Energy shots deliver tasty caffeine in 17 bold flavors. Each 2-ounce shot packs the caffeine of a premium 12-ounce cup of coffee, plus B vitamins and nutrients with 0 sugar and 0 crashes. And what I love most is how portable they are. Big taste, tiny shot, and you can take it anywhere and get that boost when you need it. My favorite flavor? Oh, yeah, it's the Transfusion. I've been talking about it all summer, now into the fall. It's still so good. It's that grape ginger lime flavor without the crash. Enough with the boring, flavorless caffeine. It's time to give your caffeine a flavor upgrade with 5 Hour Energy shots. Get the favorites you love, or be bold and try something new in store or online at www.5hourenergy.com or Amazon today. We got a lot of people talking in the comments, and I appreciate it. I can't keep up with all of them, so I apologize, but this one's on point. Nathan Maxwell, Whitecaps greater than Tigers. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. And I know the Tigers have lost some guys, as this comment points out. Tyler Patterson, the loss of Jackson Jobe and Reese Olson hurt this team. If they would have stayed healthy, we would have had Charlie Moore. We would have Charlie Morton, who should be in a retirement home, then on the mound. I see what you're saying. Yeah. But that's part of the general manager's job. A team has to be built to withstand the injuries. And yeah, the Tigers have had their fair share, but every team has injuries, man. Every team has injuries. All right. Let's do it. It's our biggest talking point. Turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And I'm not being sarcastic or facetious with this one. It's not hyperbolic, hyperbole, or as it looks like when it's spelled out, hyperbole. This is not hyperbole. It was the second Charlie Morton threw a pitch. He didn't have it. 6 runs. That's your night. How about our player of the game?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Bryce Elder. Why wouldn't it be? 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run. He struck out 6. And the entire Braves lineup just having their way. Listen, I don't have the X's and O's. I guess it's baseball. It's not X's and O's. It's more of a football thing. I don't have the analytics. I don't have the deep dive of if the Tigers had a better plate approach. Andy Dirks talked about them pressing a little bit, need to play a little bit looser. I'm here for that as well. Andy Dirks obviously played the game at a high level. Not even the Fiesta Tigres could change the vibes. I'm looking at the post-game show, a sign that said flew from Mexico for my first Tigers game. Well, sorry, pal. It sucked. And again, Scott Harris, you owe the fans a sincere, authentic explanation of what happened. You really do. All right, that's going to do it. Early game tomorrow. Busy day in football as well. We've got Locked On Wolverines post-game. If you want to join us after the Michigan-Nebraska game, Locked On Tigers as well this weekend. Locked On Lions. I keep saying this weekend. They're Monday Night Football. So Monday night, Locked On Lions post-game show with myself, Natalie Kerwin of FanDuel Sports, and Bradford Banta. So there you go. Check out Locked On Tigers with Scott Bentley. Like the channel. Subscribe to the channel. And pray. That's about all I can say now. Is just pray. Pray this team somehow hangs on to the American League Central and finds a way into the playoffs. Good night, everybody. Appreciate you.